Good morning. It is a gorgeous day to be on the water. Checking out a place I haven't been in probably 7 or 8 years. This is a stretch of the upper Potomac River, and I don't know what I'm in for today. I know there's muskie that live in here. I'm not targeting them specifically today, but you know, if I get a follow, if I get a strike, I'm not gonna complain. I just don't know how I'm actually gonna figure that out. Being in a kayak, I don't want to get something that big in a kayak. My skills aren't there yet. That said, it's still going to be a good day. And even if I don't catch anything, because I don't know what I'm doing here, it's an exploration mission. It's going to be something new. But before I get any farther, I want to say, hey there, how's it going? I'm Adam. This is Go To Outdoors, and I'd like to welcome you back to another one. Today, targeting smallmouth bass, largemouth bass, a couple things like that. I got a couple rods with me, nothing too fancy. I am in the kayak, as you can plainly see. There we go. And we're gonna see what happens. The sun is just coming up. It is about 7:30 in the morning on the gorgeous, gorgeous morning of March 30th. So let's see what happens and get the GoPro kicked on. If I catch anything and anything else interesting happens, you'll be the first to know. So let's get to it. There's a couple boats out here already doing a little catfishing. One right there, one back around the corner, and looks like a gentleman and his lady up on the bank. So I've heard that catfishing is pretty good here. I know up around this bend there's a couple really steep bluff walls, and I'm fairly certain it drops down to about 25-30 feet, which, you know, around where I am, anywhere on the rivers, it's usually a maximum of about 8 foot deep, and that's in like the big pools. But there's a lot of dams here on the upper Potomac, and it creates a lot of opportunities for deeper, more still waters. That's why the muskie like to live here, because the water stays cool in the summer, and they got plenty of room to move and grow, and plenty of stuff to eat. But I've also personally caught some smallmouth out of here that were well up over 3 pounds and weren't quite my personal best. You know, that of course came out of the Susquehanna up near Harrisburg, PA. But I do personally prefer fishing for smallmouth a lot more than I do for largemouth. Couldn't tell you why. Maybe it's just because I was, you know, raised on trout fishing. My pop-up taught me how to do that. Did a lot of it with my dad when I was younger as well. Also did a bunch of catfishing, which is why I kind of like the idea of potentially coming back up here to target those once I have a different rig set up. That of course is going to be a video coming soon. Got a couple projects planned for this summer. We're going to paddle up here around this corner, see what's up. There's a lot of timber and stuff like that. It looks like it's falling into the water, and that's always a good sign. Morning. Yeah, it's a beautiful day. Let's see what we can do. Well, as you can see from this massive collection of scum here on this side of the river, obviously it comes around this long bend here and just kind of pools in this area. So this is one of the deeper spots that I'm personally aware of. Of course, you see I don't have the big 10-inch Garmin on here today because, well, I thought I could do something a little bit different and kind of learn to read water, you know. But truth of the matter is, yeah. Anyway, a lot of good timber falling into the water over here. A couple good chunk rock pieces. That whole bank where all those houses are, oh sorry, like garages, they're all RV garages. That whole bank is riprap, and it's fairly shallow, you know, 3 to 6 feet until it gets to about, well, the wooden staircase there. So we shall hit all of it. Let's get started. Let's get started with my personal favorite way to fish these particular types of banks, and that is a 3/8 ounce just flipping jig. This is a Berkeley, not a finesse jig, this is a Berkeley flipping jig. And I got a little Rage grub on the bottom of there. Nothing too fancy. I really like having some blue in green pumpkin on most parts of this river, just because of there's a lot of crawdads that have kind of a iridescent sheen to them, and you know, if you're gonna do it right, you're gonna want to try and match what the fish are all eating. Fairly strong amount of current here for being this big eddy. I'm gonna try and get a little bit closer. Perks of being in a kayak is you got that stealth factor going. That's really key on big pressured areas of the river like this. You know, because it is a lot deeper, a lot bigger water, you will see a lot more large boat traffic on it. So just keep that in mind if you ever wanted to head up here. I have had a lot of luck here in the past. Again, it's been several years, but I have had luck. Damn. It's all sycamore scum. Sycamore seeds are stuck in that scum. That's kind of gnarly. That wasn't good. There's bottom. Hard to keep contact with the bottom in this particular area. Nope. Thought I had something. Oh, that was a bite. Oh, that's a branch. Oh, such a good structure in here, and I just blew this area out. Oh, nope, I didn't. You did. All right, check the line. The line's good. There's a lot of scum here. I'm gonna get it back out of here. Ah, it's gonna leave a scum line on my boat. Nasty. You know, up on that rock, I might have some good luck catching a spinnerbait. Either way, I'm gonna go a ways up here and try and fish down this entire bank, so I shall return. Oh yeah, first fish of the morning. Oh yeah, good fish, good fish. That's a good fish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, crushed the spinnerbait. Absolutely crushed the spinnerbait. Oh yeah, that is a good smallie. That is a good smallie. Well, looks like I'm tossing moving baits today. Swiped it from the outside. I gotta weigh this one. It's probably 1.5 pounds, 2 pounds. Interesting pattern on her. All right, let's get that rolling. Zeroed. Oh, there we go. That's a 2 pound smallie. 2.078. First one of the day, first smallie of the year is a 2 pounder. I told you there's some good ones in here. So let's get a quick pick and be done with it. First smallmouth bass of the year, 2 pounds even. What a beautiful fish. Oh, what a beautiful fish. Go on, pretty girl. Get out of here. Oh man, yeah, that's the way to start the day right there. Nice smallmouth. That was spectacular. I think I'm gonna be throwing the spinnerbait today. Because that was a hit and a half. Holy crap. That was good. Excuse me. That was good. Let's do it again. Right on this rock wall. Like I said, I knew they were gonna be here. First cast with a spinnerbait. That was a good way to start this particular stretch of river. I'm using a half-ounce Berkeley, half-ounce Berkeley spinnerbait. I just got bumped there again. A Berkeley compact, single willow, single little Colorado, and that fish absolutely trucked it. Start just beating the bank. Yeah, I'm gonna be coming back here more often. It's a little bit of a drive. Took me about a little bit over an hour and 15 minutes to get here from where I live. Of course, I live in Northern Virginia. I'm fishing in kind of the middle of Maryland right now. But it is all good. I'm gonna turn around. I like fishing into the sun. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Man, this water looks good today. This water looks real good. What is that? Oh, a couple ducks. I don't know what those were. Those were not wood ducks, and that was not mallards. I do not know what those were, but that was cool. I heard them coming. I just couldn't see where they were coming from. All right, let's paddle up a little ways. Yeah, right there. That's a bald eagle. That is a bald eagle. Yes, day made. That is awesome. There are so many eagles on the Potomac River. I mean, heck, there's eagles right in the town where I live. I saw them flying over the house about a week and a half ago. And there's a huge nest that's actually on a lake right in my hometown. Big nest. It's been there years and years and years. And it's cool to see those birds flying around. I've seen them take crappie out of that local lake a few times. I just heard a turkey over there too. This place is a wildlife sanctuary. There's those ducks again. I wish I knew what those were. I really do. There's a big turkey over there somewhere. So bald eagle, ducks, turkey, smallmouth bass. What a morning. What a morning. Love it. I absolutely love it. Let's try and get me another one, huh? I don't know if you heard that, but that was that turkey again. He's somewhere up on that ridge. He is all horned up. But, like I said, it is March 30th. Turkey season itself is right around the corner. And these birds are going to be doing what they do best in the spring. Making more birds. Who knows, I might get a little turkey hunting in this year. If I can get out, I get out. If I don't, hey, I'm going to be doing plenty of fishing. My goal this year is to get more fishing in than I've done in several years. Because I've just been working way too much. Yeah, I've been working way too much. It's time for a little me time. Take time to use and enjoy the stuff that you work for. I mean, hey, life's short. Buy the boat. In this case, kayak. Get a kayak. Get a small boat. Get out on the water. I mean, I don't care if you're in a float tube. Wade in the river. It's easy to do. Granted, you would probably need waders, because I think the water temperature right now is somewhere in the high 40s, low 50s. So, unless you have good waders, don't hop in. That's just silly. You don't want to get hypothermia. I'm going to put this up for a second, this little piece of cover here. I'm going to throw a jig at, because I love catching them on a jig. Smallies on a jig is so much fun. He's up there. I saw a little fish just jump up here a second ago. There are several turkeys over there now. And the bald eagle. Somebody's cooking bacon. Bacon or pancakes. Someone's cooking, definitely. There's something extremely peaceful about paddling on a river when you're pretty much by yourself, when it's this absolutely glass slick calm. This is therapy. This is very, very therapeutic for me. There are very few places I'd rather be right now. And of those very few, yeah, they don't rank much higher above this. Being on the water, being outside. Man, I love it. Well, finally get to where I'm going, and old Johnny Catfish just screams by on his jet boat. I was kind of hoping I'd beat him here and be able to do a little fishing before they got beat up, but hey, whatever. I'm not going to begrudge anybody the opportunity to be on the water. Sometimes I wish it was a bit more quiet, but hey, that's the price you pay to fish someplace on the Potomac. The Potomac is nowhere close to private, so it is what it is. So hopefully that's not gonna, you know, beat this bank up too bad. Either way, while I was taking a break to paddle over here, I switched it up and I put on a little rage bug, a Ned rage bug. I got I believe it's a 1/8 ounce tungsten bullet weight, and I got it pegged. Of course, peg kind of slides up in there because it's such a small thing, so gonna start tossing this onto the bank, skipping this under some of these trees, and yeah, we'll see what we can see. Let's wait for this wave action to settle down a little bit. You definitely see how 100% clear this water is here. It's super clear today. Yep. That's the thing with these jet boats. They do push a lot of wake when they're going through. This is exactly what I was hoping to avoid, but hey, like I said, it is what it is. You just got to deal with it. The other jet boat just made a run too. It's not gonna be quiet for a few minutes. Oh well, here's what it is. Don't ever hate on anybody else for being on the water, folks. Unless they're putting you in danger. You know, it's everybody's out here just trying to have some fun. Everybody's out here just trying to have some fun. And it is a Saturday, so I was never expecting to have the river to myself. I'm really hoping that's not another one of here coming up the river. It definitely is. And blowing right next to a kayaker. I mean, look at this. This dude just ripped past me, doing about 30 miles an hour. when I was right on this bank. I mean, that's the fourth jet boat to rip through here in the past like 10 minutes. And you know, again, I'm not mad at anybody, but there's, you know, probably a half-mile wide river right here, and you got to come within 30 yards of me. Come on, man, that's inconsiderate. More than a little inconsiderate. Have a little decency. I can't get out of the way of you as fast as you can get around me. So don't be that guy. Don't be that guy, folks. And now I'm probably going to be waiting here for 10-15 minutes for this water to calm down again, because this bank has just gotten hammered. It was quiet, 100% quiet until I got over it. That is a big slider. Hey, turtle. That's a big one. That's probably one of the biggest I've ever seen. Probably one of the biggest I've ever seen. Anyway, so since everybody's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, yeah, nice little tenor. Anyway, I'm just here to enjoy the day. I don't mean to get grumpy. I came out here specifically to calm some grumpiness. But be considerate. I'm woodpecker. Just be considerate. That's all I ask. You know, be cool to the other people that are out here enjoying the water. That's the only reason I'm a little grumpy right now. That's the only reason. Note to self: find a pair of waders that you don't have to strip out of if you have to take a leak. Trying to do that in a kayak was an interesting feat of acrobatics, I must say. No accidents though, we're good to go. So, anyway, plan B involves about an hour and 40 minutes of driving from right here. And it's already noon. I don't know, it's an iffy proposition. Weather in that particular area could get a little shifty. Possibility. I'm sorry, I'm trolling on the way back to the turtle or something over there, kicking up a whole bunch of bubbles. Anyway, the wind could be the only issue up there, along with there only being about 3.5 to 4 hours to fish. I think by the time I get everything buttoned up there. However, I am going to give it a shot, and yeah, we're going to see what happens. What I really want to do is go up there because that particular location has trout, has walleye, and a bunch of other things I really want to catch. The potential for a lot more smallmouth bass. Bigger smallmouth bass, bigger largemouth bass, perch, walleye, trout. It is just a veritable smorgasbord of potential fish to catch. And that, of course, is the entire reason that I am out here. Yeah. Let's get loaded up. Let's get out of here. Let's go check out that other place. Okay, so I'm back home. I did call that Audible like I was saying. I made it all the way to where I wanted to go. It was about another 2-hour drive from where I was this morning. Got up there, wind was terrible. Clouds were getting dark, you know, that kind of cloud. Got there, took a couple casts. I walked probably about a 1/4 mile down from where I parked. Just took my spinnerbait rod with me. And took a couple chunks in the water there, and had one fish follow it up really close. I saw it, it swirled right at the bank. It was another smallmouth that was probably about the same size as the one that I caught earlier today. So that was a good sign, which means they're moving up, because this was a lake that is very deep. So the fact that I caught, almost caught, didn't catch, I almost caught a smallmouth right at the bank was a good sign for where I want to go back to pretty soon. The weather this week is going to be a little meh. rain the next couple days, but the temperatures are starting to feel like spring finally. About mid-30s when I woke up this morning. When I got on the water, it was 37 degrees on that part of the river, and it got up to about the mid-60s before I had to make my way back home. Speaking of making my way back home, the reason I didn't have any footage from where I went to the second place was, again, because of the wind, and didn't have a trolling motor on the kayak. I'm working on that right now. I'm just waiting on a couple little things to get my wiring squared away. And also kind of my lift and lower system. There's a lot of great ideas for what people do with the SS127 online already on YouTube, but I kind of want to do it a little bit differently. I don't want to punch any extra holes into my hull just because I don't want to do that. Don't need to run anything internally, but there's a couple things on top of the deck I can do because I don't lay a lot of stuff on the front end. I don't put anything like pretty much forward of my feet unless I'm crabbing, in which case I'm not going to really have the trolling motor anyway. But that's one of the projects I got going on. Another one, that thud, is something I am very, very excited about because this is going to be a big part of the channel in the coming months and years, hopefully, before I get yet another project restarted. So I got a couple things going on this year, but that's for another time. But as of today, I have caught 8 fish on the year. I got, yes, 8 fish on the year. 2 species. I have largemouth bass and smallmouth bass now officially checked off the list. Smallies, obviously, like I was saying earlier, are my favorite of the bass species to chase here in Virginia. I kind of want to go around and catch a little bit of all of those this year because I got a little bit of a challenge for myself. I want to catch as many species as possible this year. And when I say that, I mean I want to catch 50. I set that benchmark. I want to be able to catch 50 different species for myself this year. Got 2 down, 48 to go. So there will be a little bit of travel involved. There will be some saltwater fishing involved. There's gonna be a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be doing a little bit differently. And this project you just heard me kick is gonna be one of the things that helps me out with that. Also going back to where I went to my second spot of the day is probably gonna be able to help me tick off 4 or 5 species out of that one spot alone. Rainbow trout, brown trout, walleye, rock bass, and yellow perch are the 5 I'm gonna try and get there. I also know there's smallmouth and largemouth in that particular lake, but I definitely want to get the other ones out of the way. Partly because I also want to try and get some of those species to do a couple more, catch and cook kind of things. I've never actually eaten a walleye. And the ones I've caught around here, I'm not eating because that's the Shenandoah River. And long story short, there's been a ban on any, well, not a ban, a strong advisory to never eat anything out of the Shenandoah River, the South Fork that goes from about Waynesboro up to Front Royal-ish. It's like 100 miles worth of river that's pretty much screwed because of a chemical accident way back in the day. So that's why I haven't done a lot of catch and cooks yet on the channel. There's a lot of stuff that I can catch that I know I can potentially eat, but I prefer going out into the bay, getting some saltwater fish. I'll do some lake fish and stuff like that. But the second spot, the lake that I'm going to be going back to, I'll absolutely 100% be okay with eating fish out of that. I'm getting a little long-winded. So it was a good day. Caught the 1 fish. Got the smallmouth bass checked off my list, an even 2-pounder. Great fish. That was a fun catch. And looking back, I was probably, I sounded probably a little bit too excited to catch that fish. But that one just made my morning. Yeah, it's been a good day. It's great to get on the water, get a little bit of aquatic therapy. And yeah, I can't wait for the next one. Got a lot of big plans for doing stuff outdoors, doing stuff with the channel this year. Like I said, I'm getting long-winded. I'm kind of rambling at this point. I had a fantastic day. I'm kind of tired. I woke up at 4 o'clock. I've been driving for probably 5.5 hours today on top of all the paddling on the river. So I'm sore, a good sore and a good tired. And I'm home and the weather's amazing. It's getting less amazing with these clouds, but I'm not too worried about that. But that's about all I have for you today. So like I always say, thanks again for watching. Make sure you find a reason to smile today, and I'll catch you in the next one.